Yeah, for sure. So today we're going to be talking about something called Story Spline. So Story Spline is just essentially like this tool that is used by a bunch of different people to kind of like be able to create this backbone of a story. It easily creates a nice outline for us, and we can just kind of like it's really easy for us to kind of slot ourselves wherever we want on this outline, right? So the description of the Story Spline is again, like I was saying, a tool to help to provide a model for a well-structured story from beginning that continues, establishes a routine, then an event that breaks that routine, a middle that shows the consequences of that broken routine, a climax that sets the resolution of the story in motion, and the resolution, right? So it's something that a lot of story writers use, and apparently they use it at Pixar as well in the story department. And the Story Spline goes like, once upon a time, blah, 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 blah. And every day, something happens. But one day, something. And because of that, blah, 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 blah. And because of that, and then because of that, until finally, and ever since then, the end. See, I didn't say anything, but it felt like there's a story, right? You know what I mean? So it's really like again, at the very beginning, you have, you have the beginning that establishes a story. So once upon a time, our hero does this, and this. Our hero who is this, and our hero who is this. And that's establishing the story. And then you have the event that breaks the routine. Oh no, sorry. You have the establishing story. Once upon a time, there is a hero who does this and this and this, and every day he does this and this and this and this and this, and every day he does this and this and that. Kind of round out the character, and it's the thing that breaks the routine is the inciting incident, something that kind of happens to the character that changes his routine, which is but one day this happens, you know, and then everything is like after the inciting incident, you have all the things that are kind of developing and kind of unfurling the story of because of that happening, and then because of that, and because of that, and then because, you know, you're creating all this more information to kind of round out the story. You've developed the characters, that's fine, but now you're rounding out the story. And then at the end of that, you have the climax that starts the resolution of the story. So everything's building because of that, until finally this happens, and then he starts to unfurl, and then eventually this happens, and ever since then this, you know. So let's take the movie Ratatouille, for instance. You know, once upon a time there was a rat, and every day he smelt the food from the trash, and every day he would make sure that there's no poison. Every day he did this and did that. This rat also loved to cook, you know, and he loved to go inside the house of some woman and be able to cook food and be able to do this and watch this and all that kind of stuff. But one day, the woman in the house woke up, or the woman noticed Remy, and Remy was like, "Oh no!" And because of that, he has to run away, and because of that, he gets separated from his family, and because of that, he has to roam all throughout Paris, and because of that, he realizes he's in Paris, and he's, you know, and because of that, he meets his friend, and because of that, until finally, how does the movie end again? Until finally, here
comes the chef.
Comes the chef.
Looking for the critics, yeah.
Exactly, and ever since then, he's lived out his dream as a chef in Paris. You know, so that it all kind of fits into this. So everything's building up to the climax, and then it kind of falls, right? So we're going to do a little bit of a Story Spline exercise. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get into pairs, and then I'm going to see if I can set up little rooms for you guys to go into. And then what we're going to do is that you're going to receive a prompt, and between the two of you, you're going to go one by one. So one person is going to say once upon a time, blah, 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 blah. And the next person will say, and every day they blah, 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 blah. And the next person, but one day they blah, 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 blah. And you're going to do 3 because of that. So you're going to go because of that, blah, 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 blah. Because of that, blah, 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 blah. And because of that, blah, 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 blah. And then the last person will say until finally, blah, 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 blah. Until, and then, and ever since then, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to post in the chat the Story Spline formula. And I'm going to get you guys into rooms. And then you guys can do this exercise. So this exercise is going to go for however long it takes for you guys to do this, do the whole thing 2 times. So you're going to take the same prompt, but you're going to do 2 completely different stories. Okay. So Hector, you're going to go with Jocelyn, and your prompt is. Can Hector and Jocelyn get an item that you'd see on the floor of a teenager's room?
Okay. We'll use the same prompt for both stories?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I put in the chat the Story Spline thingies, so you can see them, so you don't have to, just memorize it. But can they get an item that you find on the floor of a teenager's room?
Skateboard.
Sorry?
A skateboard.
Skateboard. I heard something else.
As before, right?
Cool. I heard, yes, you know what I heard. But so we're only going to do this exercise once each.
Okay.
Hope that's fine. Cool. So I suppose Hector and Jocelyn, you can go first, and your prompt is skateboard.
Skateboard.
So Jocelyn, you can go first with Once Upon a Time.
Yep. So once upon a time, there was a teenage girl who went to his grandmother's house, and while she was speaking to her, she told her that there was a magic skateboard that she found long time ago, and that she was gonna give it to her because it's the skateboard has kind of curse that you have to pass through the next generation, or at least you will die, but not like die on a good way. You are gonna suffer multiple deaths once and once over again.
That's totally fine, Jocelyn. You don't have to go too much. That's great. That's great, though.
I thought that Hector might interrupt me, so that's why.
No!
With the everyday. No, sorry. Okay.
That's great, though. That's a lot of really useful information.
So we gotta give her a name. We'll call her Alice. So every day Alice would go visit her grandma, and they would go over this story, and she never really believed it. She just thought it was a made up thing. It's like, why would this story be true? Why would this legend be true? But one day, her grandma wasn't at the house when she arrived, and she could see something glowing under the floorboards of the house. And she realized that, and then so she decided to pull up the floorboards, and she saw the skateboard.
Ooh.
And because of that, she grabs her and noticed that under the skateboard was some letter written that said, "You have to go to the tallest mountain and throw from there. If you survive, you are worth to use me.
So because of that, she set out to ride her skateboard up this mountain, which sounds incredibly difficult. And on the way there, she ran into her friends, who she shared the story with, but they didn't believe them until she showed them just how much this magical skateboard was still glowing in her book bag. And then they believed her.
And because of that, the friends helped her, and they went to this trip to this mountain. But before they get to the top, they found out that someone was following them. It wasn't a human who was following them. It was like a creature, but they didn't see him.
And
let's do one more. Let's do one more because of that. Yeah.
And so because of that, they all got split up. And Alice, who had the magic skateboard, decided to confront the creature so that her friends would be safe. And I guess they had like a big old skateboarding competition showdown, because it turns out that the magical creature also had a skateboard. Yeah. So I guess they like raced until they reached like a cliffside, and then it was like a game of chicken to this cliffside. And then that's where her friends showed up, and they tripped the creature and it fell off over the edge.
Crazy.
So then they resumed their trek up the mountain, now safe from the pursuit of the creature.
Nice.
Finally, Alex took the skateboard and got down from the mountain, and she survived. So the skateboard let her take it, and that's.
And ever since then, Alice believed every single story that her grandma told her. When she got back home, she showed the grandma this. Her grandma was back. She had just gone to the grocery store. No big deal. She was fine. She was safe. She didn't come up in the story at all later. But she showed her the skateboard, and then they were super happy, and then she kept the skateboard.
Hey.
Nice.
The end. Very nicely done. Cool,
I'd pay $10 to go watch that movie.
Right? I'd pay $11.50.
There we go.
Right on. How was that? How do you feel about that?
That's fun.
Cool. Jocelyn?
I was nervous because, I started wrong. I think that he was gonna stop me.
Fine, yeah.
There's no wrong way to do improv. Cool.
But yeah.
Right on. That's great. That was fun. That was fun to listen to as well.